Hello, and welcome to another week and a couple of false starts to the Abusecartoons Livestream. Sorry I had a couple of crashes that I don't know, it was OBS and a video window open at the same time, and so I've done everything that I can think of. I think I'm just going to have to, I guess the only thing I haven't tried is swapping video cards, so maybe I'll give that a shot. But if it's something on the motherboard, then there's not much I can do about it. And it's funny because I was editing with Premiere, which usually causes it. It's the video card just switching off, and it was fine. But I've done everything. I've taken stripped out all the drivers, reinstalled everything, uninstalled the video card, installed it back, literally pulled it out, put it back in, did a BIOS update. So I have no idea. It's just really annoying that it's so unreliable. But whatever. Just have to keep on trying. Yeah, I think it was just a very poorly configured system and probably very low quality parts because this was all purchased at the beginning of the pandemic. So who knows? Who knows what garbage they thought they could throw in this box, and it's a terrible case too, so I can't even use it to rebuild anything. It's a really odd specific size, and the power supply has weird specific connectors and things. So enough PC talk. So I hope everyone is doing well. And hey, dude, how's it going? So yeah, it's very bizarre. I can't tell. There's not one specific thing that causes that crash, so I'm not sure. how to avoid it. So what I'm just going to do is not open any other video or anything. What I was doing is I checked the previous stream to see how it looked and sounded, and then everything just crashed. So OBS running, and then I guess maybe just it's requesting too many, video windows, so that can set off the card, whatever that flaw is. And then I read that there's weird flaws in the latest NVIDIA driver that's actually like taxing people's CPUs. So who knows? But I think that's just for newer cards. This is quite an old card. This is a 2000 series card. So it who knows? But it may be the case though, and then they are just like have no urgency to address it because it's an old card and they don't care that you didn't just give them money. Yeah, who knows? And I suspect too, if you're a PC manufacturer scavenging for cheap parts, I'm sure there's a lot of Bitcoin miners or like cryptocurrency miners that'll sell you their old video cards that have been running red hot for consecutive years to throw in cheap boxes. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, glad you could find this stream, dude. It's mysterious anyhow. So yeah, I guess I have to try the video card swap and see what happens. Yeah, that would be probably the easiest thing to do, is just put that card in the other, the much slower PC, but then try to tax it and see if it crashes, if it does that same thing where it just blanks out. Yeah, it could create chaos though, because I don't really have good timing. There's not really good timing to do that with the possibility of like both systems being completely down. I don't know. It sucks. All right. Yeah, and the price, I was just pricing components and stuff. Stuff is really expensive right now, especially in Japan with the weak yen. And to replace anything is going to be like minimum $500. So I'm not going to start swapping out new parts, because that's just silly. All right. But yeah, so I was saying in the notification, I was talking a little bit about the tourist season is started, and since October people have been able to freely, as long as they have that tourist visa agreement with their home country in Japan, to freely get back to Japan, and they sure are. I'm really amazed how quickly people want to get back here. But I think it's just because it's kind of international tourism, baby's first international tourism, because Japan is so safe and everyone has some sort of English competency. They may not want to speak to you, but they can understand you, and everything is being translated into English and Chinese and Korean. So and there's even like currency exchange machines everywhere, like these little ATMs that have the like an airport style garbage exchange rate, so you can do that very conveniently. I just got the notification, and then one, and then you should have gotten 3. Yes, sorry, unknown girl. Yeah, I had 2 false starts trying to get everything set up. So I'm running bare minimum. So I only have OBS and the Restream chat window open, and then of course Photoshop, and that's it. And also I'll open the web browser for the archive later, because I'm just worried. I don't know what it is that's causing whatever this memory problem or this driver problem. But the thing that happened is there was something running in YouTube. Both times it crashed. So yeah, I guess that was the only, in this recent crash, this is the only thing that happened. So yeah, I don't know why. I guess it's just there are so many. When you look on support boards and everything, everyone's like, give us your configuration. So there are so many, kind of X factors, so many variables in in computers and drivers and things. You have no idea what's conflicting. But I'm so tired of thinking about it. It's really slowed me down. I just don't want to, because you can get in the middle of something and then very easily just it shuts down and you lose everything that you just did. Although some of the the Adobe apps are pretty good with recovery. But yeah, it's just frustrating. And I'm sure I'm shortening the life of this system by having to kill it because the video card switched off. I wish there was some way to have the card separate so I could restart the card, but it has to be restarted in the, the whole boot up process. But I wish there was a way to try to jump the card back on. It's frustrating because everything else is running, everything else is fine. It's just the video card has said goodbye, and it's on its own power supply and everything. So who knows? Yeah. So I have no idea. Just trying to not draw only boxes again. Yeah. It'll be. There's not really good timing with all the stuff I'm trying to get done to take both my machine at the office and this machine down. So yeah, there won't be a good chance to try that. And I can't even remember what the video card is in my PC at the office. Oops. It's probably something really, really old. So I'm not sure if it'll even run here. Yeah, I can't remember how things were set up. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I can understand, like, you see so many people live streaming on Twitch and things, and they've just bought the new NVIDIA, like the 490, 460, 490, whatever that new series is. But those things are thousands of dollars. So obviously they have to be streaming. They have to be partnered in streaming immediately to try to make that money back. That's an insane amount of money just for a video card. Although I think, gaming rigs, some people spend like $8,000 on like, water cooled gaming rigs and stuff. So I guess it's not crazy. But for me, for whatever I've ever built, that's about it. But that was the price. I mean, that was early days, like early Mac, when they could handle Photoshop, and Photoshop was kind of written natively for the PowerPC. I think it was PowerPC for a while. And back in those days, yeah, a decent Mac was like, over $6,000, $7,000, and it did almost nothing. Did Photoshop well, but they aged very poorly too. They started having that Mac memory trouble right away, where they don't give you, like you have if you've used Windows, you get that blue screen of death when the machine decides to die, and then there's some recovery and some things you can do. With Macs, it was just click and just everything's off. It's just like somebody flipped a switch, like a circuit breaker, and just shut everything off. That was, and back then Adobe had no recovery, nothing was being saved. So if you weren't saving every 10 seconds as you're working, you lost whatever was unsaved, and there was completely without warning. Sometimes you get the little, I think it was a watch back then. I'm dating myself pretty bad, but yeah, it was that spinning like color wheel for a while, or like I think more recently, I don't even know what it is now, but that little watch thing would pop up and you're like, oh shit. That could be a warning for terrible things. Yeah. I wonder what sort of factors, and I'm sure there are people that know, but what factors would improve the quality of kind of desktop computing and things. There's got to be barriers. There's got to be people making money by slowing down progress and subverting you know, business away from certain technologies and things, just like gas-powered cars. But it'd be nice if things worked. Hey, K5, how's it going? Good to see you. Sorry about the starting. No, now starting. No, this time for real. And it was. Third time was a charm, as usual. I just want to make sure you guys are really excited for the live stream, you know. So it's starting. Oh, no, it's not. No, starting. Oh, maybe. Got to tease it. All right, so now I'm back to doing boxes. I've already done this like headrest, neck pillow looking thing, I think. A cheese joke. I think this ended up being foam, cut foam and cheese jokes. Yeah, I don't think upholstery jokes are gonna make it this week. Let's try something else. Oh yeah, flat pack furniture is always fun. Yeah, drawers are so frustrating if the design is a little off and they don't glide very well, and also the especially the IKEA the bottoms, they always, the weakest part, even if there is some like wood involved and it's not all just particle board, the bottom is always like the weakest part. And if I always overstuff drawers, and you know, that's the first thing that gives out. So it's like, well, that should be one of the stronger components, or at least have a lot of support. And it usually just is a thin piece of particle board with those little plastic wedges that you stick in the edge there, so it doesn't completely drop out. But yeah, it's been a while since, because the funny thing in Japan, the IKEA furniture is very expensive. It's not cheap at all. It's about twice the price, probably, of anywhere else. So it's not like student furniture or anything. It's just foreign design flat pack furniture that you have to build. So yeah, that's true. There's all kinds of fun. Yeah, oh, and I noticed that too. I had to put together some little, what was it, some like little cabinet, kitchen cabinet that had like a space for a microwave and like little shelves, but then also cabinets above and below. And it was Japanese instructions, so I couldn't read a lot of it. And the order that they had you do things was so bizarre. I couldn't understand like why they were, or they're having you build certain things at certain times, because it caused you needed a lot of floor space because you had all these half constructed doors and things. So it was very strange, but I got through it. Yeah, and then I think Japanese people are very visual too, so the visual part of the instructions was good, and probably. Oh no, that's right, because I remember being frustrated at a couple of points and asking my wife, "What does this say?" And she said it doesn't make any sense. So the actual text, it was probably better that I didn't try to read the instructions or translate them, because it didn't help. The written instructions were ridiculously vague, or kind of ambiguous in the meaning. All right. See if I can draw a circle, not a round one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Close enough. This down a little bit. Oh, and I can even cheat the wonkiness of it. Oh, what happened here? Okay. I guess you can't. You can't resize and then partially resize. Yeah, that's not even visually very interesting. Nice. Oh, no way. Work trip to Japan. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a good season to be here because it's finally the spring stuff is just starting. And if you don't live here, then you don't have you won't have allergies. So you can really enjoy the spring. Yeah, but in about a week, yeah, things are going to start getting really beautiful around here. Yeah, I was trying to do like that kind of nature documentary, the strange creatures emerging from their slumber. Yeah, people have been waiting, and the Chinese especially. This part of the country and specific. Well, I guess the whole western side gets a ton of Chinese tourists. I think somebody because the airport here is pretty unique. The international airport is actually built on an artificial island in the ocean, and they have had all it's insanely expensive project, and they have a lot of trouble business wise keeping routes and keeping the gates, rented or whatever the spots, for from the airline companies, and especially when like the fuel after 9/11 and the big fuel price spikes and unpredictable things, they've lost a lot of routes, so you can't directly fly. It's called Kansai Airport. KIX is the abbreviation. But it's on this artificial island, and it's really funny because the technology, like literally to balance the island, like the island is resting on these like little stacks of wooden blocks. There's these supports where they keep adding these wooden blocks to keep the island from sinking. It's really bizarre how they did it, and but it did survive the Kobe earthquake. It did survive one of the biggest earthquakes, and only like a few cracked runways and things. There were a few tiles. I think it was pretty minor damage because I think the way that it was engineered, it could move pretty well, and not be just totally wrecked by the shaking. But obviously someone is like selling China or Chinese airlines, or there's just a lot of availability, and Chinese airlines are buying a lot of slots in that airport because Chinese tourists don't come to Tokyo. They come to Osaka because of that airport. And so now that airport's gotten a little, I don't. There's people laying on the floor and old people sleeping on all the benches and stuff because people travel differently and have different ideas about what's not rude to do at an airport. So the airport's a little trashier than it was, but people come here, and it's a good shopping if you're just coming to buy Japanese products. It's cheap, much cheaper, less crowded than Tokyo, and you can do a lot of business, which I think is the major motivation for a lot of Chinese tourists. Is they want to have a trip, but also finance the trip with some sort of business deal, either bringing home, washlet toilet seats, or buying some real estate, or doing something while they're here, so that they feel that the trip has been worth it. Yeah, it's a little strange. All right. So there must be, I imagine, like a cottage industry is probably attorneys, attorneys that handle international real estate and stuff, international ownership of real estate, that have probably had huge booms in businesses because they can advertise. They can advertise in Chinese, and especially with the tourists, uh, tourism boards, or the whoever they're going to interact with before they head to Japan. You probably get a lot of business selling useless collapsing houses. But yeah, it's spring must be here. The colorful suitcases are out. uh, oh, good, good. Yeah, I was wondering if because it's happened before where too many notifications come up and you don't know what the final one is, and I still don't know if I'll not have technical trouble as long as I don't open anything to taxing to the video card. Yeah, I can't. I was so hopeful. I did I'm going back to talking about the PC, but I did a BIOS update, and I'm like, okay, this is finally the thing that I found that I haven't done yet, and maybe this will have some effect, and absolutely no difference. But I had so much hope once I was like, oh, my BIOS is out of date, so once that's updated, because that was one of the recommendations, is that that could cause some sort of conflict. I think I've just got a old dead card that escaped from servitude in a cryptocurrency mine, and I got stuck in this PC. All right. All right, so what else? Keep showing everything in the same layer. How about a popcorn joke? Wait, can I draw? Oh, yeah. And some kind of half popped. Oh, it's going to be impossible to put eyes on that if I'm putting all the, unless I, yeah, maybe I'll do something to make it look 3D. Yeah, so if this is a glass bowl, then you would see what was left of the popcorn in there. So if I do this, then I can reduce the reduce this so the eyes will still be visible over that. So yeah, it's like a frosted glass bowl. All right, and one more. Some popcorn. What's a salt, butter, pepper? I had a friend that always put black pepper on popcorn. Hey, True Hub TV, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, I gotta pull this chat a little. I'm only seeing like the latest. Oh yeah, I think that's. God damn, how do I? Nothing I can do about that. Oh. Restream, why do you suck so bad? Yeah, I can't. I can only see like the last three, literally three. So if I miss something, sorry. I apologize for. Okay. Oh yeah, like a bag. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. That hot weird microwave popcorn bag. That would be fun. All right. I'll draw it here, but I'll probably reposition it. Okay, so more narrow than that, and also why not make it look like it's been through hell, the hell of microwaving. Yeah, this doesn't have to be, and then maybe this side. Oh, that's right, and these are always folded, like deeply folded bags. I think that's too wide. But with the magic of digital technology, look at that. There we go. There we go. I don't like that bowl shape very much either. It's pretty wonky looking. But where is it? That's the pop. Where's the bowl? But there's there's a kernel separately. Paste. Okay. Let's try to fix the lopsidedness. I don't think that's going to happen. Ah, all right. Yeah, but we're still. Oops. Yeah, I guess it's a little better. We're still in the middle of March here, which is there's a Japanese saying that 3 days of spring, 3 days of winter is March. So I can expect it to go down to 0 one more time just to mess with you. Uh, yeah, yeah. Black pepper. That's right. Going back to black pepper. Yeah, I was. Yeah, if you especially with if the popcorn's a little oily or whatever, that's yeah, it's interesting. What was the other kind of weird stuff like seasoned salt and stuff? I remember um, not anyone's like particular thing, but people trying to do weird stuff on popcorn. And you're like, what's this? But yeah, black pepper was the. And she would always ask too. Is it okay if I? I'm like, okay, the whole the whole batch, the whole thing. Sure, why not? Uh, all right. Yeah, they have they do a lot of flavored popcorn in the movie theaters in Japan. So they have divided buckets, either quarters or halves, and then there'll be like cheese, caramel, and butter, and I think that's it. Maybe it is only three. Yeah, but they'll have divided buckets like those gift tins and stuff with caramel corn and stuff in them. But yeah, that's not a good. And I think too they will serve it like mixed up. Like you can actually literally just have it all thrown in together, which can't be particularly like a buttery, cheesy caramel handful of popcorn doesn't sound very good. All right, so these guys, maybe these should be closer. There we go. Okay. Yeah, recently, I think that it's a little expired, like it's a little older, the microwave popcorn, but I haven't been able, and it might also be the microwave. Maybe the microwave's turned up too high, but I've been at the office trying to just make popcorn, and I burn it every time, like just slightly, so it smells and the bottom is bad. But I wonder if it's because it's old. It's like a year expired, I think. So I wonder if the oil or something gets weird, so it doesn't work very well, or the conductivity of the whatever they put in the bags to actually let them get hot. Whatever it is, something's failing because of time, because it's impossible to get it out of there before it burns. Like it's still popping pretty heavily and it's starting to smoke. Like god damn. So something has failed in the in that design. All right, so popcorn joke, and what else? Yeah, that was always the thing. That's a burnt microwave popcorn is such an office smell. Like if you have a break room with a microwave in an office, always like one day a month someone burns the hell because you if it's a cheap microwave, and also there's no sensors or anything. So if you're not standing right there, when it stops popping, it's gonna start burning. So always someone walks away, in a puts microwave popcorn in the oven and walks away from it. And so that weird fake butter burning microwavable paper smell. But it's better than, because I was in California, so it's better than some of the smells of the things people were eating. Oof. Yeah, some of the Asian employees of all all parts of Asia ate some pretty stinky stuff. And I'm sure, Italians and Greeks and whatever had some pretty shocking food at their workplaces. But wow, that was it's a surprise. Yeah, there was one coworker I had a Vietnamese, who's just some white guy from California, but had a Vietnamese wife, second wife, and he would never tell us. Like she would always cook. He always brought his lunch in like Tupperware, and he would never be honest about what it was he was eating. So he'd always say the stupidest things. Like I think it was like some kind of chicken, just pieces of like steamed chicken in like a fish sauce, like an oyster sauce or a fish sauce. And so it was a strange color and it smelled very strange. It didn't smell like chicken. It smelled like a combination of like, just smelled strange. So he was, was like, oh, so what did you have for, or what are you eating for lunch? And we say stupid things like dog or whatever, just to be an ass. But we never knew. I think it was just chicken. But just to be stupid. All right, I don't know what this is. What is the model of a stomach? All right. Oh, K5, look at you. Microwave. So stop it halfway and then rotate the bag 180 degrees. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, because then it's only heating from yeah, that's right. Because microwaves are really bad at like evenly heating something. So I'm probably making it really hot on one spot. Damn, K5. I'm glad you're in the chat. I never would have even thought of moving the rotating the bag. That makes total sense. Yeah, I mean it's probably the microwave is a very cheap one. It's like a hardware store microwave, like hardware store brand microwave. They're what's it called? The big chain of hardware stores here in Japan is called Conan, like the Barbarian or O'Brien, Conan, and they have a store brand called Life Lex. So Life Flex. No, it's it. Wait, no, it's no. There's only one F, so it's Life Lex. Lifelex. I don't know what that's supposed to sound cool, I guess, because even in Japanese, like even with a heavy Japanese pronunciation, I don't think it sounds like anything. Daifurex. Yeah, I don't know. It's very. I don't get what it's supposed to be saying or what. It's just supposed to sound, cool, like lifestyle brand or whatever. But yeah, it's a Lifelex. Lifelex microwave. But they're insanely cheap. And they're made in Japan and they're insanely cheap. So that's pretty cool. They figured out how to strip like certain components out. And I think it's basically for, if you have a garage or like a shop or a break room at a job or whatever, and you want a $20 microwave, I know where to get you one. Yeah, but surprisingly, they're not made in China. Well, they could be, pre-made in China and then assembled in Japan. That's the trick that a lot of Japanese companies use. Is legally, I think they can get away with saying as long as it's assembled. If it's basically if they just put a sticker on it and put it in the box in Japan, it's like, yeah, made in Japan. So it could come pretty assembled. At least the like interior electronics and components and things could come assembled from China. But if they are doing something final here, then they can brand it made in Japan. Which people, I'm very it's funny to see that, because I remember like the 80s, I think, were the big made in America kind of time. America kind of gave up on that once Walmart started making things so cheaply. America kind of gave up on the made in America pride, but they still have that here. Like people are very concerned, and not even like products like electronics and things, but produce and things. People don't want to buy anything from any cabbage or any like the basic kind of produce from China, because you can't trust what pesticides and stuff they're using. But and I even got caught up in a little bit of that, because I was reading the ingredients on, I think, Snickers. Like I was occasionally buying, like after work, buying a Snickers bar, because it was very American trashy food. And then I was reading the package one day. I'm like, oh, the peanuts are from China, so maybe I don't want Snickers anymore because there's a lot of Japanese alternatives. But they did list. They did break down all the components and where they were sourced from for Snickers. But yeah, that made me less excited. And they're really cheap here, and that's why. Like, so M&M's, all of the Mars or whatever, I forget what like company that's all in it, but all the, kind of more classic American candy bars are very, very cheap here. And I think it's because they're Chinese. They're made in China. I wonder if the American ones are made in China. That would be disgusting. That would be so. Maybe all peanuts in Snickers bars are from China now, but it definitely makes them like they're price wise. They're much more competitively priced than the Japanese ones. So you're paying a little bit more for Japanese candy bars, but maybe I should just stop eating candy bars. But the price is so much lower that it makes it like, oh yeah, Snickers, I am loyal to that logo. It's brutal. Still though, for Halloween, Snickers was the superior candy bar. Three Musketeers, get out of here. Milky Way, come on. It's like it's missing all three components: the caramel, the nougat, and the peanuts. So each one is a step down. That's funny. What was there was always like really rare ones, like what was that, $100,000 bar? There were some really rare ones that I think aren't even made anymore that would be really strange. That you would, yeah, sometimes get. Whatchamacallit? I don't know if they still make those. And the Clark bars, and I was never a fan of somebody, I know I'm going to offend somebody, but Butterfingers I was never a fan of. That crunchy, I love peanuts, I love peanut and chocolate and peanut butter and chocolate, but Butterfinger is a corruption of peanut butter and chocolate. Nice. Yeah, microwaves get really microwaves do get really abused. Yeah, that brand, the Lifelex brand. Yeah, it's really, if you're putting together, an office or a cheap apartment situation, you'll end up with some Lifelex products. All right. Um, don't have any ideas. Oh, maybe like a tall mug with a tiny handle. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I think I kind of deluded myself. Like this year, so I usually get really bad holiday depression. And this year I totally, because it was still kind of it wasn't a normal holiday. Actually, that's not very small, is it? Normal holiday. I think I kind of tricked myself, like, oh wow, no problem this year. I'm doing great. But I think I just ignored it or something because I really, yeah, just recently started to just crash. Yeah, just like no energy, no anything. Let's do a mug handle size joke. So a tiny mug with a giant handle. I don't know. I think just visually it will be funny, but yeah, it's really weird. I don't have a very good sense of kind of how I'm doing or whatever. It's very funny. It's like giant ear. It's very surprising because I thought, oh, well, I'm doing great. I'm finally not doing that big, drop in whatever joy become just kind of joyless and weird, and that usually happens around the holidays. It didn't happen this year, but I think I just kind of delayed it. I think I just put it on hold and refused to acknowledge it, and then it just came crashing down. It's really weird. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting anything done. And then I have a shit video card. I don't know. Is that funny looking? Kinda. We can do a Smith's joke. Oh shoot. What he lacked in fluid ounces, he made up for in handle size. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it. Oh, it's so stupid. Ugh. All right. Big handle energy. Big mug handle energy. What is it? That's a handle, right? Handle of a mug? I don't know. Does it need one more thing? I've been doing like 3 objects. Maybe not. Just 2 will be fine. Kind of looks like a child. Yeah, it just makes it look like a child's cup. All right, there we go. Oh, good, yeah. I'm glad someone's my Butterfinger side. Yeah, any candy bars with like toffee and things in the middle. Yeah, I don't get it. It's like, yeah, they're just trying to take old people candy and make it for young people. I do not accept that. All right, so let's come up with some good colors here. Something I don't normally do. How about like a weird yellow? Oh, that'll look like a kid's cup though. Okay, greens. Yeah, a green and then like a warmer orange might be good. It could totally be a kid's cup. You never know. Except it would have 2 handles, right? Those baby cups always have the 2 giant handles on them. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Yeah, Unknown Girl, I think you're right. That they even have, they call it the seasonal, whatever, seasonal something disorder. And I think for Americans, though, it's just because they like do such ridiculous things for Christmas. Like they make themselves way too busy and they visit all of their divorced family member houses, and like it's super stressful. Seasonal affective disorder, I think it's called. But that's also the low light disorder. I don't think that's actually like specifically holiday related. I think that's the lack of sunlight, no vitamin D stuff. But yeah, I always used to think it was just homesick stuff. But really, it's like I don't even have home now. Like everybody is. There's no like childhood home. There's no hometown. So I don't have any good excuses to like, really miss anything. There's just people that, that I miss, but they're all scattered around too. So it's really hard to visit any or too many of them at the same time. Yeah, but it's weird. It's just, I think you just have to not ignore that kind of stuff or just kind of let it, allow it to wreck your life. Because what is it? Maybe like grief and stuff works the same way. If you kind of repress it, it just makes it even worse. Very sparkly, shiny looking mugs. Yeah, but processing that stuff, yeah, I'm just really, really bad at that. I don't know. Even after all these years, I just don't know myself and my tolerances very well. So I can't like, okay, now I'm going to be doing this. Yeah, it's very weird. How long? So maybe on my deathbed, I'll have it all figured out right before. It's like, oh, right. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Some mugs. I could make them more decorated, couldn't I? That might be distracting. Let's see. The wonky eye. I really have trouble with the glare on this monitor, seeing that. There we go. There we go. He's all personality, folks. Yeah, that might be the that might be the final joke. There might be a better way to word it. All right. Now popcorn. Hey, True Help, how's it going? Nice. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. Okay, so now I got to figure out how to color this and keep it. I guess I've got to keep it separate. The stuff in the bowl has to be brought down too. So it's pretty bright, right? Like that, maybe. So that'll be for this. But this is here. That's too brown, isn't it? It needs to be a little orangier. Yeah. Okay, and where is it? Here? No. Here. No. Where the hell is it? There it is. Okay, so it's at, what does that say? 30%. So this has to be 30% for the illusion to be complete. Wow, it's barely even, maybe let's not do 30. Barely has any color. All right, that works. And then maybe a little bit so it stands out a little bit more, a little like yellow, slightly yellow on the popcorn. Yay. Yeah, then the eyes should stand out okay. And so the popcorn bag, maybe like a bluish gray and some weird highlights. Yeah, inside is just like a weird gray, isn't it? Let's try that. And then we'll do some decorative branding. Oh, and the bowl needs to be white so I can. Oh no, wait, what happened? So all of this, oh shoot, all of that was the wrong layer. That's why I was looking so, yeah, that's why I was looking so dim. So faint is because it wasn't on the 100% layer, which maybe, huh, there we go. Something like that. Oh, it was on, yeah, that's right. It was the layer, but it wasn't. So that's getting everything except the bowl. Okay, sorry. Everything's so light colored, I'm having trouble with the layer order and everything. Okay, so some kind of red. Maybe some, yeah, kind of stripes and details on the bag. What was the Blockbuster had a the video rental place in the US had like a brand, maybe it was just like Blockbuster, but I thought they had like a brand of microwave popcorn, and sometimes they would do it as a promotion, give you microwave popcorn. Like if you rented 5 movies or something, you get free microwave popcorn. It was just amazing. What an amazing time. Oh, and maybe like a bright white patch that's the, instructions. The warning. This side up. There we go. Yeah, that looks popcorny. Nice. Oh, are you headed off? True Help. Oh, Blockbuster Popcorn. Yeah, yeah. Family Video. Right. Wow. I still can't believe we used to like waste gas like driving VHS tapes back to rental shops so that we didn't get late charges. What a weird waste of time and energy that was. And I always loved the my favorite friends' families were always the ones where if you went to the rental shop, they're like, I don't know, we got some, we probably have some late fees, and they'd have like $45 in late fees. So if you wanted to rent something, it's like, well, I just remember a few times with friends, families, like, oh, well, we're not going to rent anything because if we want to rent something, we have to pay the late fee. And it was like, building up over probably compounding interest annually. Those are my favorite favorite families. Oh, come on. What layer is that on? Yeah. If we want to rent something, we're going to have to pay the late fees. So it'll be a $50 rental. Oh, and maybe here too. I hope this is going to work as far as the eyes being visible. All right. That's a huge, that popcorn is a little too big, isn't it? Oh, well. I'll put a note, not to scale. And then the shadow on the bag. There we go. Was that? Yeah, I think before. I'm forgetting the order now, but I think it was before. Before we had a VHS player, we had one of those. They weren't laser discs. They were those. They're analog, so they were movies, but they were on a like a record, like a it looked like vinyl. I think it was like shinier, but it was in a big plastic case, and you fed it into the player, and it took the disc out of the plastic case, and so you had this like empty plastic case, and played it inside, but it played it like a record. It was like a giant. I forget what the technology was, but it wasn't digital. It was analog. But we had one of those things, I think, before VHS. It might have been a gift or something. I don't know. But there was only one place. So, of course, rental is very limited. So there's only one place to rent that. I wonder if we got it because that rental place opened. Yeah, we lived in a really small town, so everything was like super limited. But like it's not called acoustic. It was like an analog. Oh, it was laser. Oh, okay. I thought it was this weird because I remember I guess that was true of laser too. If you damage the surface, like it would degrade the video. It wouldn't like totally make it unreadable. What was that? Yeah, I'm not going to search. I'll crash my I'll crash my video card. But yeah, it was this. I thought it was a weird half step. Yeah, between. But yeah, it was probably reading with a laser, so I guess technically it was Laserdisc. I forget But it didn't have like Laserdisc was always like, oh, it has this big step up in video quality and sound and everything, and that was always the big selling point. But this was like some kind of weird half step. I can't remember what it was, but that was the first thing I ever saw Star Wars at home on, was the that weird acoustic. I think we did get it because that rental store, which is so weird. But it was kind of cool because then when you were looking at movies, you were looking at them like albums. You know, you're flipping through them like albums because they were big things. But yeah, so I remember Laserdiscs were like albums. They were in sleeves, cardboard sleeves, and you took them out. This thing had a big giant sticker on a plastic thing the size of an LP, and like a little, some kind of locking mechanism at the top, and when you put that in, it unlocked it and it slid the disc. So you never touch the disc as a way to protect the disc. So yeah, maybe it just was like early laser disc. Yeah. Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, True Help. Yeah, right. Yeah, that stuff is so funny. Yeah, funny stuff. But I remember, I guess all lasers were like that though. Like CDs, you could make them skip. Like if you kicked the the entertainment center or whatever, they would literally skip. Yeah, that's so funny. And then Laserdisc, the like when Pioneer or whatever released that Laserdisc format, and I guess it was never digital, was it? Was it digital? I don't remember. Maybe that was the difference, is how it was encoded. I gotta look it up, but I can't open it. If I open Chrome, I know I'm gonna crash this whole thing. I see if you either got a memory problem. So maybe I should look that up too. I wonder if I just have a memory problem with the configuration, because I know it's a lousy power supply that was in this system. So I wonder if I'm just low. If more RAM would make things not choke. I have no idea. Is that too? Should I make the bag more brightly colored? I guess it's okay. It's kind of faint. All right. I can't draw eyes on popcorn, so I guess we're good. All right. No, that's going to do it. So let's take a look at the archive. Dude is always amazed by by the things that I go through. It's just one guy's struggle documented on live on stream. Okay, that's right. Okay, so let's try this. So I apologize if I suddenly go out. I probably will continue streaming, but there won't be any or maybe the camera will still be working too, but I won't be able to see anything because the video card crashed. So I will talk I will talk my way out of it and then probably stop the stream. All right. So let's go. Oh shoot, I gotta also open the Google Docs so I remember where we are. Oh, and some of the wonderful comments from last week. Up your dosage, sir. I get it. I quit, but I get it. This has got to be the worst cartoon on the site. The title tells it all. All right, so we're starting at 2009, so March 2009. Wow, so exactly, 14 years ago. Oh, I could have just done this. Really? What's right before this? Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I'm crashed. Am I crashed? OBS is not moving? Fucking hell. Okay, well, let's try this. Comments. And boom. So the stream looks down. Oh, yeah, you don't need to see the notes. The stream looks to be down. Is it? No, maybe? I have no idea. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I think we're still up. Everything looks green. Ah, good. All right, so let's pick up at March. Ooh, give me some more microphone. March 5th, 2009. Oh, there's 5 comments. She was a little concerned about her now topless state. A topless box joke. Chromosome. I thought so also. Uh-oh. Some grammar thing. Oh, she looks a little empty-headed. Nice. Is it just so funny how I have not checked this one in a while, and who posted was you? The reason why is because the chromosome. Cruncher. He says, my name is Zach. We've been talking about chromosomes in class this week, and this was the picture. Okay, nice. So it's all talking around whatever's going on. All right. Candy jokes. So March 10th, each piece of chocolate held the potential of both surprise and disgust. Where was this at Valentine's Day? Oh, well, rings true anyhow. Yeah, sorry, Cosmo. Oops. Sorry, Cosmo. When I reloaded, when I uploaded the archive for Go Comics, the dates shifted. My missing year, my year of relocating outside the country, screwed that up. March 12th, after a loss of support, warranty, and battery life came the inevitable suicide. Oh, geez, iPod joke. I didn't even, oh man, I didn't even take advantage of like putting little X's on the screen or something. Suicide. I have an MP3 player still doing well. I've had it for about 4 months. Well, talk to me when you've had it for 12 years. Shucking. All right, let's see all the comments. Got a new battery installed quickly on my old iPod. Oh, nice. They used to be able to do that before they sealed them in. Or maybe you can. Maybe like with they don't even still make iPods anymore, do they? It's all just iPhones. I don't even think they make the those touch things, those non-phone devices anymore. If you treated it better, it would still be around. Oh, Farron. All right, whatever. Yeah, I just like the idea of the iPod strangling itself with the with the headphones, the wired headphones. Bluetooth, they can't do anything about it now. March 17th, 2009, her egg and spoon race aspirations had caused irreparable damage to her partnership of salad serving. Wow, that's a long-winded one. Egg and spoon race aspirations. That's one of those things I thought sounded funny, and yeah, the execution is not working. March 19th, life refused him the smallest comfort, yet demanded complete surge protection. Like it. Surge protection. All right, March 24th, 2009. Their adhesives held far longer than their will to adhere. All right. Interesting graphics on the stickers there. All right, March 26th. Instead of joy, hope, or even despair, he was filled with small packets of dried soup mix. Yeah, this is... I'm hitting all the classics with the what you're full of. All right. March 31st. She enjoyed the romance of public phones, but not the vandalism. Oh, yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah, just to have big paper phone books in phone booths. It might still, I don't know. I don't know if there's even any countries that have bad vandalism. I'm sure that's the first thing they got rid of is anything you could wreck in a public phone. The romance of public phones. So April 2nd, 2009, slicing dried meats left him with unanswered questions and smelling a little odd. I already liked. Nice. Yeah, they totally got that reference. April 7th, 2009. Judging by his color, He must have had something to do with hair removal. Yeah, I like the ladies' appliances, always in pink plastic and pastel and pink plastic. Oh, all right. April 29th, 2009. This was easily the most excitement ever involved in making pancakes. I need a cigarette. Oh. Yeah, that was a sticker too, I think. All right. April 14th, 2009. They were lost between a cleanness you can feel and fresh breath that lasts all day. So obviously I've always got the television on while I'm working on these. And so, yeah, any stupid slogan from like toothpaste or mouthwash commercials. Yeah, a cleanness you can feel and fresh breath that lasts all day. Oh, what a place to be stuck. That was April 14th. April 16th. Conversation with anything marked return to sender was pointless. Tough when you lose an argument with a wall. All right. I've been down this road before. Okay. April 21st. Some methods of coffee cup storage impeded normal social interaction. There's got to be a way to get them all, to get them to go well together. So true. And April 23rd, even the smallest mistake contains some truth, some beauty that was now lost forever. Erasers and their ilk. Mostly numbers. Thank you for the corrections. The numbers versus amount error is one of my pet peeves. Oh, wait. Yeah, there was some grammar Nazi attack on this. The smallest mistake contains some truth. Oh, yeah, maybe I totally rewrote this joke because of the all the nonsense. I'm unliking your bullshit. That's right. I wish people would get simple grammatical concepts straight. I love these fucking grammar Nazis in the comments. Yeah, I forget what the original joke was. Smallest mistakes. Oh, and maybe I changed the cartoon and that the content of that cartoon was actually based on editing it. I forget what the original joke was. I wonder if it's in the original file. But yeah, just that ruins your day when you got these fucking assholes in the comments going, it would be was, were, and had been what? It's numbers, it's not countable. Lovely. April 28th. Footwear accessories had very little to look forward to other than old shoes. Old shoes. And shoe horns. Those little metal shoe horns. All right. April 30th, 2009. Somehow, the credit card bill managed to be condescending, pleading, and admonishing. That's funny. It sounds like a lot like my ex-wife. Thank you, Action Guy. Have a 14-year later, like May 5th, 2009. She couldn't believe that after only one cup of tea, or he was completely spent. All right, that little Twinings envelope. We'll finish up March, April, May. It was unclear what prey this was meant to ensnare. A doodle bug. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Oh, did I like it? It's already liked. May 12th. Dessert was an immediate pleasure and not meant to be archived. Oh, look at that little folder. Archivists everywhere. I would agree with you. Ha ha ha. I've been following your strip and you have the most interesting sense of humor. Oh, there we go. There's a positive comment from Shelley. My goodness. You don't want to correct my grammar? All right. That's funny. Yeah, that was a random, just drawing things and put an ice cream in a file folder. All right. May 14th. Just when he felt he had mastered heating, his almost forgotten cooling skills were needed. All right. Ah, so my dad kept his. Oh, and I thought my dad kept his house warm. Oh yeah, that's right. I put the digital temperature in 98.6 degrees. All right. Yes, he kept the room body temperature. Okay. May 19th, 2009. Most couples had to embellish the story about how they first met. These two soft-serve ice creams just collided. Oh, wow. This is a neat, understated original strip. Hope it gets more readers. You and me both. Chromosome. All right. Agreed, Chromosome. Hear, hear. True, it's funny. Well, 14 years later, I concur. All right. May 21st. Non-alcoholic beer suffered from low self-confidence and the inability to overlook unattractiveness. No more beer goggles for you. All right. Yeah, a lot of these I've been back through with the random button likes 2009, I think. May 26th, 2009. He was willing to admit his role in this banking mess just as soon as someone else did first. All right. Oh, this is 2000. Yes, this is 2000. This is the subprime mortgage stuff, I think. Haha, banking pens. Nothing funnier than subprime mortgage scandal jokes. May 28th, their half-hearted attempt at cookies and cream left him with only cookies and regret. Oh, so stupid. Cookies and regret. It's better to have dunked and lost than to have never been dunked at all. Thank you. Cookies and regret. Yeah, very dad joke. Thanks, K5. So stupid. How did I actually put that out there? All right, and then here's June. He wasn't against recycling, just how stupid it made him look. Oh, that's right. I'm definitely in Japan at this time, or by this time, because you have to paper cartons of milk or juice or anything. You have to slice them up, cut them up with scissors or slice them with a box cutter to flatten them in this very specific way. There's like instructions on the side to flatten them a specific way and then stack them up and recycle them separately. There's a lot of stuff that gets recycled separately. Yeah. So, yeah, it's very strange. A lot of these paper cartons have instructions on how to cut them for recycling. Maybe, easier for them to be fed into whatever machine or whatever. All right. So we'll pick up with June 2nd. Oh, what the... All right. So back to the writing, which I think is pretty close on one of them at least. So the popcorn, what exactly... tiny failures. The tone from those old 2009 ones are making me think about all the over dramatic, emotional jokes. So each unpopped kernel. Oh, kernel. Is that the correct spelling? Felt like a tiny failure. Unpopped. So 2 P's maybe. Each unpopped kernel felt like a tiny failure. Is that kernel of corn? Is that how you spell it? Yeah, K. Yeah, okay. Kernels of seed corn. Yeah, for some reason that didn't seem right. I guess because it's also the computer. I was thinking the computer kernel. The programming kernel. I think it's spelled the same. Tiny failure or tiny defeat? Oh, thanks, K5. Yeah, for some reason I hadn't spelled kernel of corn in a long time. How about defeat instead of failure? Each unpopped kernel felt like a tiny defeat. Tiny failure, tiny... Yeah, I think defeat is a little bit more silly and dramatic, over-dramatic. Oh, so maybe then, yeah, I can make the bull frowning to make sure you see the face. Oh, yeah, that helps a lot. The mouth. See, it makes sure that the eyes are... It's not just some kind of weird decoration on the bowl. Each unpopped kernel felt like a tiny defeat. I think that's... No, it doesn't look unpopped. But I will... Unpopped. Yeah, unpopped. Hell yeah. What a crappy dictionary they put in Photoshop. It's almost like you're not supposed to edit text in Photoshop. All right. Each unpopped kernel felt like a tiny defeat. And... Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of typos in here. What he lacked in fluid ounces... He... Oh, comma. Comma, for all the grammar nonsense. Is that a comma? Okay. He made up for in handle size. So that is a handle, right? Mug handle. Yeah, mug handles. Yep. Yeah, I don't see any other alternative term. All right. So what he lacked in fluid ounces, he made up for in handle size. Yeah, this one kind of wrote itself. I like when they come that easily. I might have... It seems like a joke I've already said. Just using some other, like, stupid size gag. Yeah, I made up for... I liked in fluid ounces. He made up for in handle size. Sure. Oh, disappointment. Oh, K5. That might be better. So it didn't... It wouldn't have to feel like a tiny disappointment. Tiny disappointment is much better. It wouldn't feel like it. It just was. So each unpopped kernel was a tiny disappointment. Because if it felt like a defeat, then it's not a defeat. It's just feels worse than it is. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the like what the heat and trying to make a kernel of corn pop is equivalent to what? Some kind of guilt or pressure or grief. Disappointment is good, like a tiny disappointment. But maybe I'll defeat. Is there something better than defeat? Let's double check if there's some funny synonym I'm not thinking of. Yeah, because I think I want it as big as possible. Oh, the noun. Oh, okay, noun version. Okay. What's going on here? God, I hate the way this works. Come on, thesaurus. Drubbing. This must be British. A good drubbing. In success. Oh, that's funny. That's a word. Non-success. That sounds like new speak. That's so stupid. In success is actually a word. I guess unsuccessful, non-success, or in success. I didn't even think that would be a word. A wailing, a whitewashing. Weird. Yeah, there's nothing. It just gets stupid. Yeah, it's very strange. Huh. An in success. I've never seen that word before. That's very weird. I'm very I'm experiencing a series of insuccesses. All right. Tiny defeat. Better than disappointment. Better than, what was the first thing I had? Yeah, I forget the previous word. Yeah, defeat is big. Disappointment can be. Huh. Yes, weird synonyms. Yeah, failure. Yeah, that's so funny. An in success. Oh, failure. Thank you. Yeah, and then that's right. The tiny failure. Yeah, tiny defeat. I think I'll go with defeat because that sounds way too overly dramatic. But did it feel like, or just was it? Each unpopped kernel was a tiny defeat instead of felt like. A tiny. What's. Come on. That's. It really. The thesaurus.com really is failing with defeat. That's really weird. Yeah, failure, loss, massacre, rout, setback, thrashing, triumph, KO. Wow, that's really a really bad list of synonyms. There's nothing very interesting. Okay, Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster. Oh, interesting. There's not. Yeah, the synonyms are really bad. Shellac. That sounds like an American. A good shellacking sounds like American slang. Snow under. Weird. Yeah, I think the combination of oh, here's the noun. Yeah, I think that was mostly verb defeat synonyms. Washout, debacle, beating, overthrow, failure, whipping, collapse, plastering, fiasco. Yeah, whitewash keeps coming up. That's really funny. A whitewash instead of a defeat. Take a licking. All right. I will stick with defeat. I can't believe there are no good synonyms for defeat. Like nothing that increases like the scale or the drama of the word. It all like reduces it to interesting, but maybe that's very cultural. That's very telling, because you don't want to describe defeat in large, effective terms like like life ruining, very destructive terms. So the slang in English for defeat like brings the scale down smaller and smaller and smaller. A licking, a lump, an upset, an insuccess. It's interesting. So defeat is not something that people want to elaborate or make big and beautiful. They want to make it small and insignificant. Very weird. All right. Felt like a tiny defeat. Am I softening it too much? Each unpopped kernel was a tiny defeat. Yeah, they have no. It felt like it because they have no real connection to popcorn, especially the bowl itself. Why is the bowl so disappointed? All right, enough of this nonsense. Let's get on to this cookie comparison. So let me make some quick JPEGs here. And open another piece of software, potentially crashing my whole system. Okay, so each unpopped kernel felt like a tiny feet. It's numbers, not letters. It's numeric. Oh yeah, I wonder what that original joke was. I completely rewrote the joke, I think, as a fuck you to the grammar Nazis. But I don't remember the original. Uh-oh. Come on. Memory. Oh, it was just spinning up the hard drive. Whew. I really hate this. Being so paranoid. All right. So the 9th. Popcorn on the 9th. And I should just close this. What he lacked in fluid ounces, he made up for in handle size. All right. Bum. And I'll just revert this. So I don't have to worry about accidentally saving over. Okay, so hang in there for a minute. Let me see if the FTP client is too graphically intensive. I remember the one place that I worked, there was there were programmers that had to double check our web page design to make sure that there was nothing, no vulnerabilities, or wasn't conflicting with anything, or that the HTML and all that was good. Which I don't know why programmers were checking that, but eventually, yeah, websites just became something programmers made. But I still remember wondering how this idiot had a job, and it was just that weird computer programmer arrogance where he was telling us, "Yes, I know you spent all this time on these graphics for these web pages, but I only look at your web pages in, I think, the Lynx browser or something, which was a text-only browser." So maybe he was checking for like basic like structure and formatting. I'm like, wow, that's whatever. You're supposed to confirm that websites work, meaning that they don't have any broken images or anything, but you're going to do that through a text-only browser. Wonderful. Those were the days. Okay, I think we're all good. We seem to be uploaded. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, K5, tell me about it. I broke a crown on a piece of caramel corn. I was like, oh, I haven't had caramel corn in a while. And I bought this like little tiny bag of caramel corn. And it was that corn that pops almost into a perfect ball. Like, I don't know if they force it somehow to do that, but so it was caramel corn and very light because it was Japanese, so very lightly sweet. So it was good. But yeah, I hit a kernel and just cracked in half a like a synthetic crown. That felt terrifying because I had no idea like how much damage was done. It ended up being okay. It wasn't exposing anything or but I just bit down totally wrong on a hard piece of kernel. Oh, thanks, Unknown Girl. Yeah, felt like it's good. All right, so let us visit a convenience store somewhere in Japan. I am guessing it's Tokyo because all photographs of Japan are from Tokyo. Oh, did the chime go off? Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully it wasn't too loud. So I've watched a few times a few different and I think we've talked about this on the live stream before. Let me get this down here. What's going on? There we go. Thank you. Well, we're gonna have a little arm in the shot. Watched a documentary about Hydrox cookies and about how Hydrox came out first, but Oreo replaced it basically. And I think Hydrox went away, but then someone resurrected it. There was a guy that loved Hydrox, and he couldn't get the formula, but he was able to kind of emulate, knowing what the ingredients were and things. He kind of came up with his own formula, and he spent the money to release them again. But Nabisco, being owned by some scumbag global food company now, literally would send staff into the big box stores like Walmart and Target and stuff, and turn Oreo bags face out and hide Hydrox cookies to help the sales. When that guy was trying to so they literally had thugs, jackbooted thugs that would ensure that Oreos were going to be the most visible thing on store shelves, and the retailers don't care, they just tolerated it. All right, so here we go. Here's a U.S. versus Japan grudge match. Actually, I don't know enough about. Maybe I should do a quick check so I have some dates in my head. So these cookies are very old. Okay, so Yamazaki. All right. So today I bring you, and so this is probably an indication. Oh, and I even have a spring version. An indication of Japan, taking something and refining it. So we have, I can do it this way. Look, the box goes both ways. So these are Japanese Oreos, which you can tell, they don't have a logo. They just have it spelled in Japanese on the back. Interesting. So So Oreos, everybody knows the sandwich cookie by Nabisco, and Noir. So Noir, the French word for black, spelled in katakana. So they don't have a romaji. So these are very Japanese. So, but this is the Yamazaki Biscuit Company. So kind of not quite as huge and menacing as Nabisco, but as you can see from just the graphics in the box, identical cookies. They're going for the exact same thing. So I was curious to taste both of these. But unfortunately, this probably would have been a more interesting and more fair test about 5 years ago, because Nabisco lost all of their baking contracts with Japanese baking factories, cookie factories. I think they might have actually had a deal. No, I think they did. I think they had the deal with. Yes, they did. Yamazaki Biscuit Company made Oreos. But they lost the contract, and now Oreos are made in either Vietnam or Thailand. So they ship them outside of Japan. So these are made outside of Japan now. And I could immediately tell, once I heard that news, the quality control is not very good. The things that are kind of the Ritz crackers and the lighter crackers are always overcooked and are very random in their quality. So this might not be so fair because these aren't both Japanese manufactured. But I'm curious, and I'm curious too if so they stopped making Oreos, and now these have been around forever, but now they mysteriously have a competing Oreo brand. They have an equivalent of everything. So Yamazaki Biscuit Company has their own Ritz crackers, they have their own saltines, and they have their own Oreos. But I'm curious to try both. But like I said, it might be a little unfair because this is a maybe Southeast Asian factory now. Look at how tiny this stuff is. These, it is Japan, so things are smaller, but they were never this small. Things are getting really, really tiny now. But I've seen some people do documentaries about Hydrox, the history of Hydrox, and the history. That's smaller, isn't it? Or am I just getting so huge? That's smaller. That's not the regular size. That looks a lot smaller. So this is the Oreo. And so a lot of people talking about, and it's really funny. You can hear people's politics with how they do American business. How are they? Oh, there we go. The way they do American business. See, look at that. They have an exact place where to open. Interesting. I think these are almost exactly the same. I think it's probably going to come down to just the different mold for the actual cookie. Yeah. So but look at that. The same. Actually, these might be a little bit more expensive, but 10 cents or something. Not much. But look at that. the number that you get two sleeves, and this is, yeah, two sleeves, but maybe 50% more. Yeah, because I took one out, so maybe like that. Yeah, almost 50% more. Interesting. But I'm just curious if the recipe or anything about these, and we'll look at the ingredients too, just to see if that's a clue. Yeah, about the same size, aren't they? I'm sure it's like the exact same. Oh, yeah, same size. They're the same size. So this is a little more reddish brown. I don't know if you can tell here. Let me go back into the light. A little more reddish brown and a little more like, bluish black. So a little darker. Actually, the Noir cookie, the black cookie is lighter. So I don't know how it's fair to do this. And the amount of cream looks the same. I'm sure it's the exact same machine that used to make Oreos that now makes only these. And maybe the reason that they lost the contract is because they were making both at the same time. But oh, right away, the Oreo is super sweet. So I'm not sure if that's the I'm not sure if that's the oh, come on, what's going on here? There we go. The cream inside, I'd have more sugar. Yeah, so it is in English. You can see it. So yeah, it does say Noir in Roman letters. So Noir and Oreo. So right away, the Oreo smells so sweet. You can just smell the crazy. So maybe I should take a bite of this first, because this might like completely contaminate. So we're gonna try the Noir first because it smells less sweet. Yeah, so very standard and not crazy sweet. Interesting. So it might be less sugar. And I think these used to be made with lard. I think that's the thing that Hydrox maybe went back to, is the cream was animal fat. So of course, like much richer because closer to butter. Much sweeter and softer. This is crispier. The Noir one is baked a little crispier. This one's a little softer. And it's weird when the Oreo, and maybe I always remember this, the cream and the cookie blend together really quickly. This one, it kind of stays separately because the cookie's so hard. It takes a while before you're kind of mixing the flavors. But the Oreo, maybe depending on what they put in the cream filling, kind of smushes right away into the cookie. But yeah, and it's sweeter. It would be hard. They are different. And the Oreo does feel a little, or does taste a little bit like there's some more deluxe or like luxurious, kind of ingredient in the chocolate of the cookie. This tastes more simple, a little cheaper too. This tastes more like it's like more like a store brand version. So it's not a great imitation. They're kind of missing, I think, that thing that probably Oreo stole from Hydrox. But I bet it's in the filling. So let's find out. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. But you get a lot more of the cheaper cookie. So the ingredients are almost identical. Wow. Where do they have the... Oh, they don't. Oh, that's weird. They don't have the same kind of nutritional information. Weird. Just the ingredients. There's no calories or anything. So I was just curious. That's weird. So oh wait, there's something on the bottom here. Yes, yeah, it's on the bottom of the bag. This is no, is this exciting or what? Oh, they do it differently too. So I'll have to do a little bit. So the amounts do look a little bit different. I can't see well. So they're just giving us the whole bag is 500, almost 500 calories. And this is just per 3. So maybe, yeah, a little bit. Oh, so yeah, it looks like there's less calorie wise. It's less sugar, less fat, and everything in these. So that's why they taste less. Yeah, there's a little bit less going on. And they're a little bit crunchier. Maybe there's more oil and more hydrogenated vegetable oil or whatever in Oreos, because they do have, yeah, there are more calories. But as far as the ingredients, though, they didn't look particularly different. There's some of the kanji I don't know for more complicated ingredients, and there's some things with weird combinations, but mostly the same. Like the top 3, like the first 3 are exactly the same. Interesting. Well, yeah, these are definitely less fat, and I think because that's more tolerated in Japan. But gosh, these are sure. I guess because they're putting more sugar and fat in them, they don't want to give you as much because they are expensive. I don't know. I want to try a Hydrox, the recreation of the Hydrox, because it's been a while. All I've had is a store brand. But I thought for sure Japan would do something interesting. But I don't think. I think their biscuit taste and culture is more from England than from America. So as far as them recreating or improving on an American cookie, I don't think they have the ability to do that, because these are good because they're less sweet and a little more crunchy, but they also have much less. It kind of is less flavor. I don't know. It's weird, but I can't trust, especially Nabisco, that there isn't something really horrible, preservative or something really horrible in these. As I keep shoving them in my mouth, but I know you don't have any good scale of me, so there's nothing relative. No, not even anything relative I can show you, but they look really small. The cookies seem to be really, really scaled down. So I wonder if that's for the Asian market, or what's going on. Because, yeah, shoot. I don't think they don't say that on the packaging, though, but they kind of admitted it once the, maybe Yamazaki released that when they lost the contract. They told everybody now Oreos and everything is going to be made outside of Japan, probably to try to help their competition and hurt the business, because people are more loyal. Yeah, that's disappointing. I thought for sure. I've never compared them 1-to-1. But yeah, the Yamazaki's okay. And if you're eating it with something like coffee or something, it would be fine. Oreos by themselves, there's something a little bit extra going on there. But you could tell whatever the components, the ingredients are more expensive because they give you less for close to the same price. And yeah, interesting. But yeah, Nabisco. So that story, the basic story about Oreo and its like competition with original Hydrox. There was 2 brothers that created Hydrox, and one of them became very ill, and the other brother was like trying to manage the production of these cookies. And it used to be that the cookies and biscuits were very regional. There was like West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast. And they had a lawyer. Once one of the brothers became ill, they hired a lawyer to kind of help them with their business negotiations and contracts and things. And this lawyer stole the whole company out from under them. And instead of, negotiating with these, it sounds like a very mafia move. So it's instead of negotiating with these different regional providers to, get their product into these different markets, he just said, instead of competing with each other, let's just all join forces. And he basically created the Nabisco, the National Biscuit Company. from just stealing stealing from these brothers that were creating Hydrox, that had created a biscuit company that made Hydrox as well as some other biscuits. And so the other brother, I think, survived his illness or whatever, but when he came out of it, it's like, yeah, you don't own the company anymore, the lawyer stole it. And so he's credited with this amazing genius business, the business move of combining all of the regional cookie makers into this one giant national company. But that's the beginning of the end for how shitty and factory. There should be regional. There should be regional companies, but and so this guy was like, showing food companies how to do that. And so so either like people that are doing documentaries that are like libertarian or whatever, or Republican, they're praising the genius of this guy, but he's a scumbag that took advantage of a guy, of brothers, that one wasn't very good with business and the other one that was ill, and stole their company out from under them. And he's heralded as so Nabisco, is bought with the not quite the blood, but definitely the work of people that didn't do anything except file some paperwork. So pretty shitty. And then later on, when I was talking about when the Hydrox came back, when it was recreated by the guy that wanted to see them again, you can see that the Nabisco tactics haven't gotten much better. So they send people into the stores to get their competition, to literally hide their competition on the shelves. It's so funny. That seems so inefficient. But maybe it does have some kind of result, if all you see when you're looking for cookies is a big Oreo thing. But that's a shame. I really thought I was really pulling for the underdog there. I was pulling for Japan to have done something interesting with the sandwich cookie. But yeah, Oreo is still, it's a decent recipe. I really want to try Hydrox though, and I'm sure the ingredients and definitely the size, or maybe it's just my tiny child hands. Oreos look so big, but these look a lot smaller. I'm curious if, because I do remember the cream in any of the sandwich cookies when I was a kid, because we had a lot of them, was always very heavy and rich. And I think it's because they switched from animal fat from shortening to vegetable shortening. Probably most companies did. And then you just lose all of that delicious heavy oil. But that was fun. Thank you for indulging me in my cookie comparison test. But I still I think Noir. Oh, there it is. It is in English on the side there. I do think Noir is a very cool ass name for a black cookie. But that will do it. All right. So we had our little Noir cookie comparison. Oh yeah, I brought up the webpage, but I didn't check the dates. Maybe they have them, maybe they don't. Sometimes they're not very forthcoming. Oh, interesting. They have different on the website. Oh, I should show you this to the guys. So hidden in the cookie pattern itself, they're explaining this. So Noir the brand, but then Mount Fuji is above. So above the brand is Mount Fuji. There's cherry blossoms and laurel leaves, and the Shiminawa. I don't know. Shiminawa is some sort of patterning. What is that? I can't think of what that is. That's really funny. Yeah, so there's all kinds of Japanese iconography on the Noir cookies. That's too funny. Yeah, there's not a they don't do that kind of history thing. They're just kind of talking about, oh, that's too bad. Yeah, sometimes the brands are very confident that they want to appear to have been around as long as possible and stuff. But yeah, these might just be an Oreo ripoff that they did because they lost their contract. The packaging though, the styling in the packaging looks very dated though, so I wonder how old they are. Cookie history. Yeah, weird. Yeah, usually there's a Wikipedia article, but these cookies have no Wikipedia entry. All right. But yeah, interesting. I was expecting it to be a little bigger of a competition there. Yeah, but definitely less sweet. And everything, all sweets here, even if they, import some, cake making or sweets making technique from abroad, they always try to do it with less sugar. I don't know why. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I can't find a date, but I would imagine it doesn't go back as far as Oreo does, because that was like early 20th century, I think. So yeah, it definitely doesn't go back that far. So it might have just been a an imitation, and sometimes the imitations are good. The Ritz, their Ritz version, which I'm forgetting, Levain, I think it's called, something like that. Um, their version of Ritz is pretty good, and they do a whole wheat one that's actually really nice. Um, but it may be just a copy. It's very funny. Nice. Yeah. Very funny. All right. Well, that was fun. I should have had something other than water, though, to drink. Yeah, I wonder. Every time I've been back in the U.S., though, it seems like the quality and size of packages and everything for cookies is getting really bad. I forget what it was. I had something like some like Nutter Butters or something that I had some kind of like nostalgia for, and they were like small and not like I remembered them. Like they feel like the recipe changed. So yeah, it's weird. I guess nostalgia, especially for like flavors and things, maybe nostalgia is really misleading. You can't trust something being or tasting like it was, because your taste buds have changed, and probably recipes have changed because ingredients, they probably are always sourcing cheaper ingredients for things. Crazy. Well, I'm so glad that nothing crashed when I was opening. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, they have a new link now on Restream, where you can view your stream on the platforms that you're sending it to. So they have these little pop-up links, and you can click on those, and then it'll open it in the browser. And so yeah, when I did that, that's when all hell broke loose, and it crashed. Yeah, weird. All right. Wow, I can't believe we got it done. Yeah, K5 says lots of recipes have changed. Oh, even Pop Tarts. Oh no. Oh, that's something I was holding out was still wonderful. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and I guess yeah, it's just so many types of like, the first example I can think of is like palm oil. Like there's a lot of movement to, so at first international companies just exploited poorer countries and made them, produce like this one product for them. Like they needed palm oil for, whatever lotions and things. And so they would, I forget which part of the world, but they would really exploit the farmers and the countries, and the labor practices were very bad. So they considered some of these products and some of these ingredients exploitation. So they changed the kind of sources for things, and they tried to look for alternatives so that there wouldn't be, or if something was created by, animal cruelty or whatever, they tried to avoid that. But it's probably also just cheap. It's probably just to raise, without changing a price, to raise profits. And then that's why the packaging is getting smaller too, because they don't raise the price, they don't change the price, but they make more money because they're actually giving you very indetectably smaller and smaller cookies or whatever it is. Yeah, that's depressing, K5. I can't have a Pop Tart now and have any sort of nostalgia. So maybe our taste buds are incredibly accurate over time. It's just we've been betrayed by global food monopolies. That's very funny. Mm. Yeah, and a lot of when people talk about Hydrox versus Oreo, they said that yeah, Hydrox obviously suffered from that chemical medical name thing, like from the 19th century, that sounded like new and, oh, this is high tech, like this is new technology, this is so exciting and modern. But those things don't hold up. I mean, it kind of falls out of fashion and sounds just weird, because Hydrox is a very strange name for a cookie. It doesn't sound delicious at all. Not that Oreo is particularly amazing, but it's just easy to say, easy to remember, and doesn't sound like a chemical name. Yeah, I guess they make a vanilla Noir, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but why not? Yeah, so like they did that with Oreo too, didn't they? Did some like yellow or like, white or yellow Oreo sandwich cookies. Always the novelty. Mm. So what's going on? Yeah, so I'm not in the middle of anything right now that I'm doing very well at. I'm finishing something up for Matt. Oh, Matt isn't. Yeah, it's way past time. Matt isn't in the chat, but yeah, finishing up some art for Matt so he can actually release this book he's written or this game supplement he's written a long time ago that he's still waiting on me for the art. So that's almost done. I'm finishing the cover now. And yeah, but nothing big on the horizon. Yeah, I'm still worried a little bit about the about Go Comics and the fate of them. What's going to happen? I'll maybe be more relieved if I see their website redesign and it works and looks really good. But who knows? Who knows if that's going to happen? But yeah, it seems like everybody is anybody. Does anybody know anyone or is being affected by the layoffs going on? It seems like every company is announcing pretty decent sized layoffs. It's mostly technology, though. I guess most of the news I get on my phone is like technology companies. Yeah, thanks, K5. I appreciate it. Oh, interesting. Taste buds change every 7 years. Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, I guess like skin and stuff. Yeah. They're completely new. And also, too, I imagine as you age, nothing works quite as well. That's why you can drink wine and whiskey and appreciate it, because as a kid, you have those like super strong, super accurate taste buds, and you take a sip of something that's fermented or whatever, and it's horrible. Yeah, but it just sounds like there's so much. And I wonder if it's just like cutting excess, if it's just like over hiring and stuff that's been happening for years, that was happening during kind of a bubbly time. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I have such an inaccurate version of things from outside the U.S., but I also don't have that weird narrative that the TV news gives. So, yeah, who knows? All right. Well, cool. It looks like we've actually got cartoons this week, and it wasn't that painful. I did too much drawing, but they wrote themselves pretty quickly. Well, that's cool. So, yeah, I don't want to do anything else that's going to crash the, that's going to crash the graphics card. So maybe I should just wrap it up. Yeah, there'll be fun stuff to look at online, but yeah, maybe not. Yeah, just that Noir cookie site was pretty funny, showing you all of the iconography. All right. Yeah, so that's cool. Good to see you too, K5. I really appreciate having you in chat. It's very cool. And yeah, and everybody, Unknown Girl, True TV, and Dude, thank you guys. I'm glad I didn't throw you off with all of my rapid notifications. Sending you too many. Now it's starting. Now it is really starting. Fortunately, though, the computer restarts pretty fast. So when it has those crashes, I'm back within just a minute or so. So that's just, yeah, weird. But I will keep experimenting. So I think, yeah, if I do get the chance, the next thing I'm going to do is try to swap the graphics cards and see if that does anything. But I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I have literally done everything that anybody has recommended in the forums and things to try to fix that. And they're not saying specifically it's this card or anything. It's just, you know, NVIDIA and Windows in general have problems. So yeah, it's just bad. So yeah, everybody take care. And if you're watching for the first time, abusecartoons.com, and then Abusecartoons on YouTube and Twitch, and patreon.com/domestic, or I'm sorry, patreon.com/abusecartoons to support what we're doing with the live stream and the cartoons, and then also gocomics.com/domestic abuse for the archive of everything. So that's the last 20 years of this little cartoon that needs a better audience. Even 14 years ago, it needed a better audience. All right, so everyone take care, and we will do this again next week. So be safe, everyone, and see you again soon. Goodbye.